Before we get started, I just want to acknowledge that we're meeting on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of the First Nations peoples. So all of us here in this room are on the land of the Musqueam, Tsleil-Waututh, and Squamish nations. Happily, I know many of you are joining us online, and you're on the land of your nations. So if you'd like, please feel free to write those nation names in the chat now. And always let's remember our connection to our siblings in these nations. And let's pray for the day in which we might all be together in right relationship. So welcome to Living Interfaith. Know that the whole of you is welcome. You're not asked to leave who you are in your own homes. Instead, please bring who you are in with you. But what you are asked to remember is that everyone you has brought who they are in with them. And all of goodwill are welcome. And so when they're ready, our fabulous musicians, Bruce and Cheryl, have our opening song.
Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leading, ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come, come, whoever you are, for you've broken your vows 1,000 times, for you've broken your vows 1,000 times. Come yet again, come, whoever you are, you've broken your vows 1,000 times, so you've broken your vows 1,000 times. Come yet again,
Beautiful, thank you so much. So I have a few comments to start us out. The first is that Rachel and Jordy have been serving as assistant interfaith leaders over the last several months. And one of their initiatives has been to start the Circle of Sanctuary. So for several years now, we've been meeting twice a month on the first and third Saturdays of the month. And they said, well, wait, we have a couple other Saturdays each month, but we're not doing anything. Why don't we bring people together? So that they've been leading those, so that it's gonna be, the next one will be next Saturday, so they're at 10 o'clock. Again, on the second and fourth Saturdays of every month, and it's more contemplative and more time for sharing. So please join them for that if you're interested. And then also, this coming Tuesday, Dr. Deidre Newman, who serves with, Doctors Without Borders, will be speaking at Trinity Place United Church. So we used to be in person pre-COVID. We used to be at Trinity Grace, we're in the Mount Pleasant area, still in connection with that on many things. And so Dr. Deidre Newman has served in Gaza several times now, including very recently. And so she's going to be giving a talk on Tuesday, September 9th, between 6 and 8 p.m. Please register online. They want to know how many folks want to come so that they can account for that many people. But please come hear her speak about her experience in Gaza and what she thinks will be helpful in the time ahead. And then later this month, the North America Interfaith Network will be holding a virtual connected conference called Mending Our World Together, Interfaith Responses to Social Justice Issues. So that'll be later this month. It's online, September 24th and 25th. And you can find the information online, or if you email us at livinginterfaithsanctuary@gmail.com, we can send you the link for that. And then at the end of this month, on Sunday, September 28th, our Canadian Memorial United Church, that's the building across the street, and this is also run by Canadian Memorial, will be doing an animal blessing. And Mary Meet from the Musqueam Nation will be speaking that day about Indigenous worldviews and how animals are part of all of God's creation. So please join us if you want to hear her speak and bring your guests. If you would like, it'll be very fun. Were there any new announcements that folks would like to share? Welcome. All right. Well, if not, let's just come into silence for a moment. We'll start with our opening prayer. This is a short poem from Daniel Ladinsky, writing in the spirit of the Sufi poet Hafiz. He says, I've learned so much from God that I can no longer call myself a Christian, a Hindu, a Muslim, a Buddhist, a Jew. The truth has shared so much of itself with me that I can no longer call myself a man, a woman, an angel, or even a pure soul. Love has befriended Hafiz so completely, it's turned back and freed me of every concept and image my mind has ever known. And now I believe Lizette is with us. And so Lizette, if you're online, please unmute yourself and offer our candle lighting prayer.
As I light this candle, I invite us all to pause. Let this flame be a reminder of the light within each of us, the light of wisdom, the warmth of compassion, the steady glow of mindfulness.
Beautiful. Thank you.
As this small flame brightens the space around it, may we all allow clarity and peace to rise within us. May this moment become a doorway to stillness, to presence, and deeper connection. The candle burns quietly, teaching us about impermanence. Like this wax, our lives to unfold, moment by moment, breath by breath. May we honor the sacred in the ordinary and walk gently through this life. In the light of this flame, may we remember our intention to live with kindness, to speak with truth, and to act with care. May this light of this candle awaken compassion in us, for ourselves, for one another, and for all beings everywhere. May all beings be well. May all beings be free from harm, and may all beings know peace. Sadhu.
Thank you. And now we're going to take a few moments, a few more moments than usual because of the crowd size, which I'm so delighted about, to offer one another signs of peace. So folks online, please unmute yourselves and offer peace. You can say that however that fits for you. Peace be with you as well. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam. Allahu Akbar. Whatever fits for you. And then folks here, we can get up if we'd like and offer peace. Let's do this for the next 2 moments.
Peace be with you.
Shalom.
Peace.
Peace be with you.
Shalom,
to all.
salam. Peace to all.
Peace to all.
Okay.
another song. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And now, please join me in our joining affirmation. You should be able to see it on the screen. It's in our brochure. It's in the brochure. It's posted again. Okay. Which one like? It's up here.
That almost works.
From here, you could share it from here.
It takes a lot. Yeah.
That's okay. It's readable.
It's
readable.
We
Come together in peace. We sing together in joy and with love. We worship together in one house. A house made to God.
Our heavens remain where the faith be, and the tree that we need to is nourished by the life, passion, justice, and mutual respect. There. To bring it back. And let it begin here. And so now we're going to take a few moments just to kind of ground ourselves into this space. So if you feel comfortable, please close your eyes. You can stretch out a little bit. If you have any tension in your neck or shoulders, you can kind of roll them back. Maybe if it feels comfortable, you can have your feet on the floor. Let's just take a few minutes, deep in, breathe in some deep breaths. Feel ourselves settled into this space wherever we are, whether we're in this room here or at home. We feel the divine presence with us. That sense of life, of peace, of joy. Let that feeling just fill us up right now. Let's breathe that in. Know that that same presence that life force that you're breathing in. All of us around you are breathing that in as well. The folks at home, and that's always there with us, whether we're taking the time to notice it and feel nourished by it, or no matter how stressed or disassociated we are, know that that is always with us. It's just a breath away. Feel yourself settle into this space. And know that you belong. When you're ready, feel free to open your eyes. So usually, at this point in the service, we pause the recording and we ask folks to share any joys or sorrows or concerns or anything they have on their hearts that they want to bring into the community with us, so we can all get to know each other better and really support one another. And for many of us, that's our favorite part of the service, when we really get to connect. So usually we do that off camera, so we don't record that, so that way folks feel like they can be there for us. But I didn't want to stop the recording today, because I'm hoping you could definitely feel free to share any personal stuff you'd like with all of us later. But for this part, I really just wanted this part to be focused on Dorothy and Rachel. So I know that those of us here have so much love and respect for them. And I was hoping now if folks would like to share a little bit just about what this means to them, to be here on this momentous occasion, supporting them and getting to be here for them. And I didn't want to record it because when I myself got ordained 2.5 years ago, we paused this part of the recording and I got filled up with so much love and it was so wonderful. And it wasn't recorded, so I don't have that. So it was amazing in the moment. But when I've kind of had difficult times in my ministry, it will have watched that part. Knowing that the community, everyone here really supports me. And I want them to be able to reflect on that later, so they can hear and receive all that love now, but also so it's accessible for them later when they really need it. So I won't start now because I'm gonna share in a little bit. And those of us who are gonna speak, I request don't share that yet. You're gonna have the time to promise these, but about other folks and new friends and colleagues and family members who'd like to share now. What does this mean for you to be a part of this today? Both online and in person.
Rachel, Julie. Thank you, Rachel, Julie. Julie, I think, for me, I remember back, in our early 20s, when, you said to me so earnestly, I want to be of service to the world. Thank you.
We're just watching you grow spiritually since you were such a young child. And every step of the way, you know, you just your heart and your life just continues to grow and grow, and we're just so happy for you in this moment.
Yes. This is wonderful.
Rachel, I'm so happy for you, ever since, you so long ago. You get an example of strength, and education and intelligence. And I really look up to you, I'm so happy because you, and glad you was your night to me, your remarks, just you just going through so, and happy.
I think probably all of you who know Dory know that when Dory hugs you, you know how she feels about the world. And that is a very special thing.
I had the privilege of, when Rachel was a student in spiritual health, she did a placement with me, and working alongside Rachel was an absolute joy. She brings such gentleness and a kindness and a goodness into the space. And I personally benefited from that, and I know so many people that she was working alongside also did too, so I just wanted to meet her. I am so proud of you, Lori, and I just wrote your song this morning, so I usually don't speak until I wrote it all down, so I'll just say what I wrote. We've been friends for 15 years, and I just watched you on this journey of motherhood. And then the doula, best doula partner for the second us to be. And, as a chaplain and your studies, and now as a minister, I'm just so proud of you to be on this journey and to watch you grow and make all your first opinion. Lori, where did even begin? As David said, your hugs say everything. Your smile says everything. The safety of being in your presence, knowing that you have this universal love for everyone around you, compassion and kindness. Whether it's mamas, parents, babies, people who are ill, children, you just welcome everybody. You make people feel so seen, loved, and loved. And Rachel, I don't know if you just seeing me next to Dory, I see similar smiles, similar energy, similar love. So congratulations. And thank you for doing the work you do. I know that it's not easy. It takes a lot. Thank you.
We should like to see you very. The first thing is a meeting company. Meeting with friends is what you want to see, and when you have a difficult time, sometimes weekends, and there's not one time I think it's kind of times that makes a friendship towards a person, you have to rely on someone, you're not sure which one you think. You're gonna say this, and she said this, and she had looking at your library, like over the time where we had a medical emergency for family when we were. I think that's starting point of really good, a deeper friendship. The other thing that comes to mind is besides just individual studies, this really as a curator of community. I see that in particular as with friends every year organizing this gathering friends together in spirit of friendship and the excuse of a certain competition, but putting a lot of effort into building that small community and making sure the right values go into it, and we're very glad to be here. Thank you.
I also was invited to the race here, and I guess I feel like it's one of the just singing the song of being here and being reminded that it's nice to have people in the world who are trying to cultivate and sort of beautiful place. So yeah, and everybody Rachel, I'm really happy to see the leaders in which we try to get the space. In different religious topics and some other places in our world are just kind of like really often lost. That would be the Dutch. Or that as a community, and kind of excited to see what you guys would throw with it. I just wanted to share. I don't know which people, but I love that you're both in my community. Sure. I am to be great. I hear it.
But I think you guys made it really sweet because you're so grounded, and that's my experience of Dory as a friend and as a gatherer of people and a creator of ceremony, and community is her ability to ground everyone who's around her. Not just done it. Um, uh, that feeling of belonging and feeling welcome. And it's very important, and a lot of people I think don't have that. Meet somebody precious, kind like you, who offers that freely, and now I'm gonna be doing it official way. And it's such a gift to so many more people beyond just your inner circle. So it's an honor to be in your inner circle and to see you abroad. Thank you. Love you. It's money in your bed. Here, I'm gonna switch out for this.
For those of you who don't know us, we are Rachel's parents. And to be honest, we say that we watch Rachel choose the path they're in different form. We are committed Christians, but we have watched Rachel become much more grounded, much more aware of other people and the world around her. And we value her commitment to these people and that world. And we wish her all the best in her chosen path.
So there's several people that are written comments in the chat. I was figuring people online would like raise their hands or join in some way. Do any of you online want to speak them out? Read what you wrote in the chat or what should I just say?
Invite people to unmute themselves. You
Okay, great.
Here, so let's just read what folks have written, and then if other folks want to unmute themselves, share. That way we get the whole community. I'm sorry for online folks, I know it's really hard to equally prioritize in-person and online, but we're trying to sort of always. So hi, Barb says, I'm hoping that the chat will be kept for Dorley and Rachel. I'm passing on my blessings and prayers for your future service to the spiritual development of the community. I've seen your beautiful spirits in action, and I know the purity of your intentions. May you be supported with divine assistance in every moment. And Shelley says, Rachel, your compassion for people, the land, and animals drew me to you so many years ago at the Forest of Peace. You've been a great blessing to me. I'm so happy for you on this day. And Joni Sachin says, I have a lot of envy anyways. But Rachel, I have so much respect for the care, integrity, creativity, and joy which infuses your work. Seeing you come to this day fills me with hope and anticipation of the good things that will flow from you to all in your circle of care. And Catherine Blonwall says, Rachel and Jordy, I wish you all the best as you take this new step in your journey. Rachel, your way of being in the world is a constant source of inspiration, and I have no doubt you'll make a positive and lasting difference wherever you go. Justin says there are few people in the world who are where they ought to be, doing what they ought to be doing, and who they ought to be in a given place and time. Dorothy and Rachel are part of those. Thank you both for being who you are. And so online folks, anyone else who wants to say anything, please unmute yourself, Stash.
I'd like to take the opportunity to say hello to both Dorley and Rachel. Meeting the two of you has been such a pleasure and an honor in my life. I had the pleasure of doing 3 months CPE with Rachel, and we quickly became close friends. And the amount of integrity and hard work that I've seen Dorley and Rachel do throughout the past year and more, even longer, is really remarkable, and the dedication. And authentically and so genuinely involved in what they're doing, their service. I also not just like respect them and admire them for all their work, but I am so grateful that we have them leading our community moving forward. What this means for the interfaith community and what this means for women in spiritual work and for our little group and for, of course, spiritual care, as you're both spiritual care practitioners. So it's just such an honor to know you both. And I am so excited to see what the future holds for you both and for everything you will contribute to do. So thank you so much for your service. Thank you.
If anyone else wants to share, please move your, because I don't see it, because you are so tiny. Miss anybody. Speak up now.
Hello, this is for Dory, and congratulations, Rachel. I haven't had the chance to meet you in person, but Dory, it's been a gift to know you these last 20 years. And I would say that every single day you have been walking towards this path, your own personal journey, your own enrichment, the love and the kindness that you share with others has just grown in such an immense capacity to this now, the step where you're stepping into this bigger realm, this next container, and that you're able to share this with everyone. I am honored to know you and to walk beside you and learn from you. And I think it's just such a beautiful gift that you have decided to say yes to this opportunity and to share with others in these ways. So congratulations, dear one. And I look forward to walking beside you the next 20 years.
Hello, I'm Kim, and this is Sandy. We're at Sandy's home on Pender Islands, and we've both worked with Rachel and Dora Lee. And yeah, can you hear us?
Not really. Can you use your volume?
Yeah, where's your hello? Well, it's the mic volume. That's our volume.
We can see you. We can see you.
Can you hear me if I speak louder?
Yes, great.
Is that a little better?
A little better,
Okay,
yeah.
I will project. I'm Kim. This is Sandy. We're at Sandy's home on Pender Islands visiting, and thank you for having this virtually as well so we can be there. We both worked with Rachel and Dora Lee in some capacity as spiritual care practitioners, and we were reflecting on them both this morning, and the unique presence, that ineffable thing that someone just brings into a room, they both have. And I am deeply grateful for both of them and their immense capacity for joy. I think their easy laughter and the lightness that they can bring is such a gift, especially as the world feels like it grows darker. And so thank you to you both for your ministry of presence and what you naturally bring into the room and the way you open yourselves to others and generously give joy. So bless you.
Thank you.
Just talk about how gentle and really tender and nurturing you guys have been, listening some talks. I feel like there's a do feel something, mixed since I'm now. Early stepped in between two homeless people that were fighting to pull them apart. And has delivered babies to the sidewalk. Rachel has done like 3 months camping trip alone in the wilderness. and has stayed on as a journalist in a war zone. And I quite know how those attributes can fit in with being a spiritual shown not out. And so I just want to see like really admiring this. And I'm really looking forward to what you're going to do the sanctuary as a take on.
Well said.
It's been an honor with both of you, and I can't wait to see what you guys are going to achieve with it. So congratulations, and I'm so proud.
I just also want to say that we're the 6 hours away. And it's been so wonderful for us to know that she's had this incredible spiritual community around her and supporting her. And it's been our great joy to have been here with her when we were in person in the first place before COVID, and to also be able to join her company online. And so, such appreciation for that, and such love for this community.
Last call. Anybody in listening online, speak now. We were doing this so much of this planning, public planning, wedding. So speak now before we hold your peace. Percent ready. Right, well, if that's it, Bruce and Cheryl had a song for us. This is the earlier song that I influenced earlier.
There'll be peace among the nations when religions make it so. There'll be harmony to spare when peaceful seeds we sow. There'll be justice for all people when religions make it so. There'll be healing for the earth when peaceful seeds we sow. When faith become united in love and respect, and we care about each other, no matter what the sect. When religions are united in justice and in love, there'll be peace among all people in the spirit of the dark. There'll be peace among the nations when religions make it so. There'll be harmony in there when peaceful seeds we sow. There'll be justice for all people when religions make it so. There'll be healing for the earth when peaceful seeds we sow. Other, no matter what the sect. When religions are united in justice and in love, there'll be peace among all peoples in the spirit of the
Thank you so much. So I think since COVID that I can't pass around a basket anymore because we meet online. But today we're meeting online and in person. So this is in lieu of a basket. This is for donations. So that we're really clear, we have a very huge budget. I think we have maybe like, I think it remembers we have like $20,000. You know, it has covered a little bit of my work and then the work of our managing director. Rachel served as our managing director for several years, and other folks who served in that capacity. It covers the cost of it. We have to rent a space. Our website, we have an app that we use as a phone. And when we make donations to folks who can't speak, so you see that we have a very, very big budget. So it's ongoing, this is on now, and folks online, if you'd like to donate, you can find it on the link in front page. And while person Cheryl had another stuff.
Yeah, we can put it over here, and then.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, you I give. Together we share, and from this we live.
In addition to being the ordination for Dorothy and Rachel, this is also our 7-year anniversary as an organization. And so for folks who haven't been with us for the whole 7 years, I won't take very long, but I just want to give you a little bit of a background. So I myself, I grew up Catholic, and I got very interested in religion when I was in my teens. I've joked that I'm kind of a religion nerd, where I just like learning as much as I can, different religions. And one of the things that struck me early on is the way we describe other people's religions. It's not how the people who belong to those religions describe it. And I found this, I grew up in rural Pennsylvania, where most folks were some sort of Christian. I myself was Catholic, but I didn't meet a Jewish person, I think, until I was in my late teens. And in college, I started dating a Jewish guy, and I remember asking him questions about Judaism. And I was like, oh, okay, so you do this and it's for this reason, right? And he's like, who told you that? It isn't true at all. And so I was curious, and I think curiosity is one of the biggest virtues that we need in an interfaith world. So I wanted to go visit God with him, because I was like, wait, I think the way your religion was described to me is not accurate. So I want to learn from people who aren't Jewish. So I started going to synagogue. And it was a similar thing before that, where I had read Jack Kerouac, and he was famously Catholic and Buddhist. And when I first read some of his books and he talked about this, I was like, that's not a thing. Can't be multiple religions. Jokes on him, I've done that for years now. And so I was like, Buddhism is so different from Catholicism. Does this work? And I talked to my Catholic priest at the time, and he's like, oh yeah, there are tons of people who practice multiple religions. And he gave me a book by Thomas Rogan. And so when I got in college, I had a Buddhist professor, and I was like, wait, could you run a study group for us? Because I really want to learn about Buddhism from you, because I think the things I'm reading on my own are different. And it was like that the first time where I found that to be true, that the way we kind of describe what other people practice is not how they describe it. It's not wholesome, it's not accurate. Sometimes it's not even in a goodwill or in a good-hearted kind of way. I don't know if folks have ever read those who read about other religions for the sake of kind of proving them wrong. It's like, oh, it just breaks my heart. So flash forward many years, was doing some dialogue work in Israel, Palestine, and I had a biblical conference in Central Washington. And at that conference, I met Imam Jamal Rahman, who is from Bangladesh, who's a Sufi mystic. And I met Reverend Stephen Green, who's here with us today. And the two of them were speaking, and I was blessed to get to sit at a table with Reverend Stephen. And I'll let Stephen talk a little bit himself, but he himself comes from a Jewish tradition, and he studied with Imam Jamal, who is Sufi Muslim. And Stephen had gone to the Catholic College, Seattle University, and himself had studied all these different faiths. And when Stephen and I were talking, this was back in 2010, I said, I'm starting the Living Interfaith Church. So he said, Jamal has run the Interfaith Community Sanctuary, Ballard, for several years with other interfaith leaders. And I studied with him, but I actually started another one north of Seattle in Linwood, Washington. And I said, oh, this could be perfect. You know, my family's very interfaith. I've been a Buddhist practice for many years. My husband is Ismaili Muslim. My dad is still Catholic. There's one place we can all go together. And the core idea, which I loved and I always loved and always maintained, is that we don't preach about each other's faiths. We invite leaders from those faiths to tell us themselves what it's like. So I know sometimes early on, describing the Living Interfaith Sanctuary, folks would say that sounds a lot like cultural appropriation. And I said, I totally see how it would look like that, but I never preach honesty because of myself, because I'm on seed. I don't preach honest on myself, because I'm honest, but we invite people from the different communities. And so going through Reverend Stephen's church for many years and eventually studying with him, he's been my mentor. He himself has written 5 books about the importance and need for interfaith in the world. Has been so foundational to me. And so when Samir and I moved here to Vancouver back in 2017, I started attending the Vancouver School of Theology. And I said, I know this is confusing because I have an interfaith practice, but I want to open another branch of this interfaith community. And we talked about it. I said, what if it's the Living Interfaith Sanctuary? And I love mostly Christian seminary, VST, they were so supportive. And so 7 years ago today, I opened the Living Interfaith Sanctuary. And with the idea that we take turns. So we meet twice a month. We come together and every faith tradition gets a maximum of 2 services a year devoted to them. And the rest of the time, we're all celebrating and learning from each other. When Stephen and I used to travel around talking to people, sometimes people would say, wait a minute, you're telling me you have a group of people from different faiths. And they're gonna come one Sunday or one Saturday, and they're gonna learn about Hinduism, and they're gonna be open-minded about that. But then 2 weeks later, they're gonna learn about Islam. And 2 weeks later, they're gonna listen to an indigenous speaker. I said, yes, exactly. And I said, but how can people be in that kind of open-hearted and open-minded place where they'll receive that? And Stephen said, it's kind of like celebrating someone's birthday. Like, I hope when you go to a birthday party, if it's a birthday party, and they're going to do D&D, I myself do not enjoy D&D. That is not how you have a good time. But let me tell you, if you invite me to a D&D birthday, I'm totally there. So I'm supporting you because this is your thing. But if you're gonna come to my birthday and we're gonna do karaoke, then hopefully you're gonna come and you're not gonna spend the whole time like, oh, I would never do this for my birthday. I might not invite you back. Just so you know. So how do we do that? How do we receive each other? How do we stay open? How do we really get to know each other? We don't have community in modern society, at least not here. We don't get to know each other. We can read and kind of take in information online, but we don't really deeply get to connect. And so the whole idea with the sanctuary and with the Living Interfaith Church and with the Interfaith Community Sanctuary is we really listen and connect. And I'm so thrilled because it's actually working. Like, because of the sanctuary, we are some of the most well-connected interfaith people in Washington, like in Washington State, in BC, in the places where we are. Folks reach out to us all the time. I'll have people reach out and say, you know, do you know anyone in the Zoroastrian faith? Do you have any indigenous speakers who might speak to this? Do you know someone? And we do, because we take the time to build that community, because we really listen to each other. So we lead with curiosity, we lead with openness, and we lead with delight, that we're delighted in each other. And so that's what the idea behind this community. I think it's very auspicious. I founded it and led it for 7 years. And now I'm very happy to be not only ordaining Burley and Rachel, but turning it over to them as the new leaders, the co-interfaith leaders of this. I myself am stepping back. I'll still serve on the board, but they're going to be the leaders of this going forward. And I've met them through various interfaith things. I think the first time I talked to Rachel was the Sick Good Barn at an interfaith event we were organizing. And Dorothy, I met her at EST my 2nd year. And you too will have that curiosity. You have that presence. You have that delight. And we're just so thrilled
to have you be a part of this. So thank you. So let's transition now into the ordination. So we reached out. So we first started talking about this back in December of last year. And in December, we did a little trip thoroughly listed how to have in Washington State. And over the course of that weekend, we said, well, you have to meet with the founders of all of this. They've seen them online, but they haven't really met them. So we visited Jamal Rahman. And so he actually wrote a letter. So this is on behalf of the Interfaith Community Sanctuary in Seattle. So this is his letter, 60-foot attached to me. He says, we send you, Reverend Dorley Harrison, Reverend Rachel Jones, on heartfelt congratulations, a sacred occasion. We rejoice in your ordination as interfaith ministers at the Living Interfaith Sanctuary. And we offer you our wholehearted support and cooperation. Dear Reverend Dorley and Reverend Rachel, we're here serving you in this holy undertaking. From the depths of our being, we wish you joy, success, and fulfillment. On this blessed day, let us all join hands and with our hearts and minds, pledge to foster interfaith understanding, peace and harmony, far and wide. May peace prevail on earth. Amen. And then my mentor, Stephen, is with us. Stephen, would you be able to unmute and share a little bit now?
Okay, if I can be heard in.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I am sorry that I haven't been able to accompany you too often. Health has prevented that, but I did very much want to be here today, both in support of the Living Interfaith Sanctuary and specifically Doralee and Rachel. You're not going to be doing anything that different now that you're ordained, but it's official. Now you are officially ordained ministers, and you not only preach, but teach mutual respect and love and compassion. And this world right now, as we are also very much aware, is filled with, it is, if you will, rife with bigotry, violence, hatred, and an interfaith minister is talking about love, not just preaching it, but how we act in the world with love, and that the two of you are committed to acting in the world with compassion and love is both beautiful and deeply needed. I salute you. I love you. I'm sorry I haven't been able to be more of any of your lives, but I am here supporting you with spirit. And again, Kathy, what you have built, Rachel and Doralee, what you will continue to build is something this world needs. It is a world of living interfaith, and that sometimes doesn't get accented enough. It's not preaching interfaith. It's not loving interfaith. It is living. Not only do we preach interfaith, but we live it, and you are living it. Bless you all, and love to you all. Amen.
Thank you so much, Stephen. It means so much to have you here with us. And then we reached out to Reverend Marie Cortez Arens, whom Stephen had ordained in interfaith ministry.
And she comes from a Christian civil tradition. And this is a blessing she wrote on this occasion. She says, "Our Creator, we lift up our interfaith siblings to you today. Equip them with wisdom, patience in serving, strength and energy for their tasks, humility in their reading, sensitivity to the needs of others, and the courage to stand for justice and truth. Instill in their hearts a servant spirit of compassion, so they find joy in serving their peers and community. May they feel strength when they are weary and be able to lean on their community in times of need. We thank them for their dedication. We honor them for their service to the interfaith community and beyond. And we send them forth today as ministers and beacons of hope for others. May it be so." And then Steve Crawford is one of our longtime board members, and he has served in many capacities with us, and also at the Living Interfaith Church, and also at the Interfaith Community Sanctuary. He's a very busy guy. And he couldn't be present today, but this is a short blessing for him. He says, "As we go through life, doors of opportunity will open. If we choose to go through that, let us do so with respect, radiating kindness, and all the love we can muster." So these are some of the figures within our interfaith lineage. And then now I'm going to speak just a little bit about, we have a note to speak about your readiness for ministry. Oh my gosh, you're so ready for ministry. And then I'll turn it over to Philip, and then I'll turn it over to Anne. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry, I had no idea. So yes, so again, I met Jolie, I think it was 7 years ago. I met you 7 years ago, right after I started the sanctuary. And you started very shortly thereafter. I kind of corralled you into being president. There were like 4 of us in a meeting, and I'm like, "Oh, so okay, that makes a full board." And they said, "Sure." And so she's been the president this entire time. God bless her. And it's so wonderful. I know with your own background in the Baha'i faith, and then with all the studies that you've done in your work as a birth doula, and transitioning, doing your spiritual studies, and now doing palliative work. We've kind of seen people across like their whole life in these liminal spaces. Some things are really changing. And as everyone says, you have this amazing presence. You're always so grounded and can really calm people down. There's been so many times where I thought I was keeping it together, and then I like look at you and instantly start crying, which is so wonderful because it's like I can access my emotions and you make things so safe for people. You're so grounded and so safe, but also so much joy. You bring so much happiness and delight. And you're truly remarkable. You're one of my favorite people I've ever met. I just love you so much. And I'm just so thrilled that you did not quit. And then you want to stay with it. And not only stay with it, but actually wanting to continue on as a leader now. I know we're going to benefit so much from your leadership. And I have just full confidence in you. So the community is just so lucky to have you. And then Rachel, I think it was 3.5 years ago, almost 4 years ago. And we met at this big event we did where we brought like 50 non-Sikhs to a Sikh Gurdwara in Surrey, and we spent like, oh my God, like 5 hours there eating their food, doing a big ceremony, getting to try on turbans. It's this awesome thing. And you were like, "This is so cool. Is this something you do? Can you do this more? Can I just like come with you to all these things?" And at that point, I've been juggling a lot of different parts of the role. Anyone who's done a startup, this was kind of like an interfaith startup. And so I was like leading, but also like trying to deal with taxes and trying to do administrative stuff and doing emails. So I was like drowning in all the work. And you were like, "I am the most competent first you have ever actually think of it, which is, which she's forever." And I was at the point where I was like, if we can find something that help me, like, I don't know how I can keep this going, if like, I'm drowning in this, and you were like, "I got you, and you're amazing." And honestly, like, we almost folded at one point, because I was like so overwhelmed, and right when we were about to fold, we hired Rachel as our managing director, and she like pulled us back, It was amazing, and you just took on so much, you're so confident, you're so non-complaining, and I was always like, I'm the worst boss ever, because I'm like barely responding to stuff, and I'm like, oh, taxes, I don't know, maybe you can find those on the server. It was awful, and you're amazing, and you've been such a grounding force for us, but you've also have deep spirituality yourself. And I've always said this about Rachel, I'm more chatty than she is. And I'm like, if I had half the experiences you did, I would lead with those. Where like I've known you for years and you're like, oh, did I tell you that I like stayed off at Kashmir as a journalist after they closed the borders? Like, you know, first thing I told someone when I had like, known you for 3 years and you didn't tell me. And she's like, you know, I really wanted to connect with God, so I just took my stuff, I took a 70-pound pack. And I lived in like Sierra Nevada, and I lived by myself in the woods 3 months to see if I could connect with God. Who are you? I'm really just amazing. So I love that Samir called out kind of the bad history of both of you. And you're so amazing. You had so many deep experiences and you stayed so open and so smart. Like you're so discerning, but still like you care so much about other people. And I know we've talked about spiritual care. It's like, oh, the people voting for spiritual care are just so blessed. They have no idea how blessed they are, and I have you. And so I'm just thrilled. Sanctuary will be far more organized when they're leading in. We totally would skip over songs for some share. I think it's Rachel on it. This is like, this could be a tight shit. So we gotta get it together. And I'm just so grateful. They're both amazing. And I just couldn't be happier. If anything, you guys are more qualified for this line. So bless you. And now, Phil, do you want to stay there or do you want to come out here? Yes. May I introduce you briefly? Sure. Okay.
Say nice things.
Yes. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here. It's such a honor to be experiencing this transition in life, surrounded by so many truly deeply connected people in my life. And that includes this person right here, Dr. Philip Murray. For those of you who don't know, was my supervisor during my clinical psychospiritual education, which is a major component of the spiritual care master's program, the education that we are required to put in the self-contemplation, the reflection, ongoing. Philip endured so many hours as my supervisor through an enormous portion of that. He has seen me through incredible hardship and incredible self-revelation, discovery. And so it's an honor for him to be here today to speak on this aspect that is relatively new in my journey. It was an unexpected addition to the where is life taking me. And so I'm so grateful to have you here, Philip, to speak about what you perceive as my readiness for ministry. So thank you.
Absolutely. Still getting used to that doctor. There's some themes I'm coming up in the service. Compassion, I'm hearing a lot of mention of love. And Dorothy is one who those attributes, those experiences, those realities of humanity kind of ooze out of her pores. Love and compassion and care. Something I discovered in 2020. We were both at a time of firsts. Dorothy was taking her first CPE unit in clinical spiritual education. I was taking my first CPE unit as a supervisor, learning how to be an educator and to teach. So we were in this together, and for 5 or 6 months in a small group, we would meet individually. I never saw anything other than this. If you were masked all the whole time. But what struck me in that time of that unit, as we were talking, was, like I said, how naturally that spirit of love and compassion flows through you. you'll remember my sharing for me in terms of the model that I use in spiritual care that guides me in my is the prayer of Saint Francis, making us channels of God's peace, love, presence, so that they can be invoked and brought to bear for others. And it just, yeah, it was so clear to me that that was a thing for you. And it was remarkable to me that you didn't quite realize it at the time. There was a lot of connection between us, transference, countertransference. We have both had journeys of disappointment and rejection from the institutions of religion. We have both found a profession that fits well with spiritual care. And it was an honor to be your supervisor, both for your first and your final year. And to be able to work with you now as you have taken on the work of providing spiritual care in the community for people who are experiencing having cognitive care, receiving cognitive care, handing that off to you in a way and working together so that we are able and seeing how the care that you're providing the people that I came to know when I was providing that care in that context is just astounding. I have really loved the working with you on the Circle of Souls. And for those of you who don't know, the Circle of Souls is a program that Dorothy has started where it's an opportunity to bring members of the care team together for a sacred ritual of acknowledging the burdens, the griefs that they're carrying, so that they can be held, maybe let go of, in a sacred, in a ritual that brings the significance and the transcendence that comes from the religious traditions, but is formed by informed by the intention of those religious traditions, but is not in itself religious, which makes it accessible to all and embraced by all. And you haven't seen them, but the comments that I get an opportunity to read and the feedback is astounding. So to be here with you at a time of ordination, where we are setting apart you and acknowledging you and lifting up those gifts that you have and that identity that you have, not only as a servant, but as a leader. I love that. Thank you. And Rachel, I don't really know you. We've been in the same rooms a few times. But to both of you, I was told when Early asked me to do this was 2 words, maybe a blessing. Really nice. So I have a blessing that I'd like to, if I may. A blessing for a leader by John O'Donoghue. And it's for both of you as you take on this new role of leadership. May you have the grace and wisdom to act kindly, learning to distinguish between what is personal and what is not. May you be hospitable to criticism. May you never put yourself at the center of things. May you act not from arrogance, but out of service. May you work on yourself, building up and refining the ways of your heart. May those who work for you know you see and respect. May you learn to cultivate the art of presence in order to engage with those who meet you. When someone fails or disappoints you, may the graciousness with which you engage be their stairway to renewal and refinement. May you treasure the gifts of the mind through reading and creative thinking. so that you continue as a servant of the frontier, where the new will draw its enrichment from the old, and may you never become a functionary. May you know the wisdom of deep listening, the healing of wholesome words, the encouragement of the appreciative gaze, the decorum of held dignity, the springtime edge of the bleak question. May you have a mind that loves frontiers, so that you can evoke the bright fields that lie beyond the view of the regular eye. May you have good friends to mirror your blind spots. May leadership for you be a true adventure of growth. And as you embark on this leadership, may the road rise to meet your feet. May the wind always be at your backs. May the sunshine warm upon your faces and the rain fall soft upon your fields. And throughout it all, may you always remember, you can't love yourself. How are you going to love anybody else? Amen.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful. And now, Rachel, would you like to introduce,
It's my pleasure to introduce Anne Tiberanen. She is the Director of Spiritual Health and Pastoral Care for Providence Healthcare. Anne was my first supervisor educator in my first junior CPE. So she got me when I was in really rough condition, and was able to provide so much wisdom and guidance. I was immediately drawn in the first time I met her by her kindness and her warmth and her smile. Somebody described her in our classroom as the embodiment of spiritual care, and I would say that's true. It's amazing to have someone in a leadership position who is still warm, kind, and taking care of so many different things and juggling everything at the same time, yet remains patient and available, and just helps all of us in the department at St. Paul's. It's so supportive. So I am very grateful that Anne is here today and can share her thoughts.
Thank you, Rachel. And good to greet you all. I want to give a special congratulations for a 7-year anniversary of Interfaith Sanctuary. What an honor to be here today. I am also an honor to congratulate you both, Reverends, Joralie and Rachel. And this moment, I was invited to speak a statement of readiness to ministry for Rachel. What an honor to be here today. And for this, I have 3 words, which all start with the letter C. And when I think about compassion, readiness to minister is there for you, Rachel. You are respectful. Your heart is open to different views, worldviews, but also very different perspectives, but also for different age. So saying for young, like I'm so beautifully saying, the Queen is continuing the third person there with the Queen. So for children, for elderly, for women, for men, for rich and poor, for whatever social aspect. I mean, I see compassion for patients, family, for staff, for people who you meet on the streets suddenly, or people that you haven't to meet on that day. You bring people together, and I'm so thankful that the parents are here today. My congratulations for you as well for this moment. And then the second C is curiosity. You are ready for ministry, full with curiosity, and you will have amazing innovation and creativity. You have a way to create new ways to address challenges, and there are many challenges we meet, but you have that, and you bring positive change. The third C is care. And when I look at you, you have this statement for readiness for ministry through care, and it comes out with servant element. Your heart is having this both, being servant leader, so servant leader. And when I look at the servanthood care, you bring the knowledge. Yes, we heard about the studies, you have several degrees, but also the skill that you have been able to bring into the action. And examples have been shared here, even a book that you have written. And also what I bring with this servant leader, besides knowledge and skill, you have readiness for ministry, you have attitude. This warms my heart. And when I look at this attitude, your heart is, there was a word used today, universal love. You share it for people, but also for animals, for dogs and cats that we have seen pictures, and to nature. And next time when I'm planting a tree, it will be green like color today. And I will plant it for both of you, thinking this is the crop. May you bring the shell and care for the shade for the hot days for others, but also that you can be rooted deeply in your faith, in your work, in your care and self-care. And final, always, even there are 3 C's, of course, there's additional love and blessing for you, and that is C is a commit. And I'm going to bring a sacred text, holy text, to say Proverbs 15, verse 3. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and your plans will succeed. And I have an honor today, 7th-day anniversary of your Interfaith sanctuary. I was ordained 25 years ago. And again, commit and necessity succeed. Thank you. Congratulations. Okay, well, thank you so much, Annie.
So now Dorothy and Rachel both have some prayers of commitment that they'd like to share. So Dorothy, you want to go first? Do you want to, yeah, if you can off, it's some.
Rachel and I decided we would like to each write a prayer to share today that represents the spiritual collective intentions that are guiding us and leading us. So if you could join me in prayer, integration will follow beyond. O divine mystery, with ready hearts we stand at the sacred threshold, held here in the presence of family and community, and guided by the wisdom of those who walk before. We step forward now with humility and wonder. O Creator of many names, grant us strength to walk with integrity, to serve with love, and to embody the truths proclaimed. Shape us into vessels of compassion and courage. And when we falter, may the strength of community and the wisdom of many paths restore us in our learning and return us to balance. O Eternal One, bless this calling. May the path become our prayer, and this ministry a sanctuary for those who seek refuge, meaning, and belonging. May it be so. Please join me in my prayer for the Holy Mystery, thank you for this call to serve, and for those who have forged this path before us. For Imam Jamal Rahman, Reverend Stephen Greenbaum, and Reverend Kathy Merchant. May we remember to honor the spiritual lineage of compassionate beings, alongside our own ancestral lineages, lands, and traditions. May all of our spiritual teachers and guides join us in blessing this day. Holy Mystery, we place ourselves in your hands. Where you call us, we will go, and what you ask us, we will do. May we always listen deeply, hear rightly, walk humbly, and act justly. May our ministry give benefit to this community and to all beings. May it be so.
Okay, thank you. So when you're ready, Jordan, do you want to come on? So Jordan, Amatul Harrison, you're called among us in this sacred moment to a ministry of love, compassion, and courageous leadership within the interfaith community and among all peoples of every path and every tradition. In the presence of the divine, in the witness of our ancestors, and before this beloved gathering, do you accept this calling and its responsibility? I do. Do you vow to strive for love and respect for all beings with humility and wisdom, to serve, bridge for understanding, and to uphold a vision of peace and sacred kinship to the best of your abilities between diverse faiths, cultures, perspectives, experiences, and worldviews? I do. Do you vow to listen deeply to the living wisdom and holy guidance of divine spirit and to follow where it leads? And do you vow to serve the values of truth, love, and justice, knowing that we never move the larger picture, but speaking or keeping silent is called? I do. And do you also vow to attend to the needs of your heart, spirit, body, and soul as you walk this path, creating space for rest and retreat as needed? I do. Do you, the members and friends of the Living Interfaith Sanctuary, pledge yourselves to walk with Dorothy in unity of spirit, in the bond of peace, and in all the ways of truth, love, and mutual respect? If so, please say, we do. Stay right there. All right, Rachel. Rachel Eveline Jones, you're called among us in this sacred moment to a ministry of love, compassion, and courageous leadership within the interfaith community and among all peoples of every life and every tradition. In the presence of the divine, in the witness of our ancestors, and before this beloved gathering, do you accept this calling and its responsibility? I do. Do you vow to love and respect all beings, whether considered alive or not, knowing we're all interrelated, interconnected, and interdependent? I do. Do you vow to serve as a bridge for understanding, to the best of your abilities, between diverse faiths, cultures, perspectives, experiences, and worldviews? And do you vow to listen deeply to the living wisdom and holy guidance of divine spirit, and to follow it where it leads? I do. Do you vow to serve the values of truth, love, and justice, knowing that we never have the larger picture, but speaking up or keeping silent as called? I do. And do you vow to care for your body, mind, and spirit as you walk this path, creating space for rest and retreat as needed? I do. And do you, the members and friends of the Living Interfaith Sanctuary, pledge yourselves to walk with Rachel in the unity of spirit, in the bond of peace, and in all the ways of truth, love, mutual respect? If so, please say, we do. Rachel and Dorothy, we invite you to ordination as leaders of the interfaith community. We would have you spread your word of love in freedom and with respect. Are you prepared to accept the responsibilities and the love entrusted to you? If so, please say, we do. We do. So now you get one of these. Awful lot of work for one of these. And take up the ministry to which you are ordained. And now I invite all present to join me in a laying on of hands, and those virtually can join us by raising their hands in blessing. So if you can step forward, and folks, if you want to develop, the laying on of hands, just keep putting their hands on their shoulders or on their head, on their back. Online folks, please join us. I'm gonna sing this, and then if you wanna repeat after me, everyone. Rachel and Dorothy, take up the ministry to which you are ordained. And I feel it with you now, may it remain with you in your leadership and ministry ahead. When Bruce and Cheryl are ready, have a closing song first.
Weave us together, weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together, weave us together, together in love. Weave us together, weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together, weave us together, together in love. We are many textures, we are many colors, each one different from the other, but we are entwined with one another in one great tapestry.
Reverend Dory, Reverend Savior, Reverend Rachel Thomas, may you feel His love going forward into the years ahead now in your ministry. May you feel loved and supported in this community by your family and friends and by the great mystery who stays with us. And may your work be blessed always. Amen.